What's happening, everybody? I'm Steve, and welcome back to Junk Drummer TV. If you're a longtime viewer of my channel, you'll know that In the Air Tonight is the reason why I play drums today. I heard it when I was like 8 or 9 on my mom's record player, and I became obsessed with the drums, and I have been obsessed with the drums ever since, 37 years later. This video is less about Phil Collins's drumming and more about his overall artistry. One of the biggest shots in the comments that I got was when I did my Genesis video, and I said that I preferred pop Genesis and Phil Collins solo stuff to like Peter Gabriel Genesis. Man, I got destroyed. I got dragged, son. It's true. Phil Collins is a genius. Oh, by the way, while I'm thinking about it, this goes out to my longtime viewer, DBM Drums, my homeboy in India. This is for you. Phil Collins is just one of the greatest pop artists of all time, on top of being one of the best drummers. And we're going to analyze, kind of break down his 1990 hit, Something Happened on the Way to Heaven. This has the Earth, Wind, and Fire horn line in it. We've got Nathan East on drums. We've got Robin Ford on guitar. You would know him from Sting. He's a longtime guitar player for Sting. And there is so much going on in this 3.5, 4 minute long song that is indicative of craftsmanship. I'm afraid we are losing in our music today. Let's get into why Phil Collins is a genius and what makes Something Happened on the Way to Heaven such a classic. Okay, so we've got an intro. We've got a lot of stuff going on. A very classic Phil Collins drum intro. We've got like something that sets up a sense of looking forward to something else. You know, this obviously isn't the meat of the song, but that intro, which is what an intro should do, sets the stage for what you're about to happen. What is about to happen? Phil Collins' groove is so nasty. We're going to not talk a lot about his drumming because there's not a lot going on in the drums from a note standpoint. There's a lot going on from the drums from just a greasy feel. Phil Collins is a pretty funky British dude, if I do say so myself, being from the land of the funk. What we've got going on there is a lot of small little pieces of parts that add together to make something better. If you'll listen really strong, you've got the guitar playing this like staccato, very kind of common like funk part. I will now apologize for my singing. I can't sing when I'm trying to sing along to these parts. But you have this real staccato rhythmic guitar part that's juxtaposed with another guitar player and the keyboard, and I think the bass playing da ba. So you have this legato part with these long notes being undergirded by this funk guitar part, right? So this is going to end up being a get off my lawn video, I'm sure of it. But today's pop music just doesn't have any nuance. It doesn't have any little small bits to enjoy. It's just like, here's like 3 parts and a vocal part over top of it. And you can do good music that way too. But this is so perfectly crafted, just this verse. Just right there, to punctuate that, how many times to say, there's a little keyboard part that comes and kind of doubles that. It's just one more little morsel of excellence for your ear to ingest. a call and response, female vocal lines, harmonies.
Yes, I'm sorry. How can something so good go so bad? How can something so right go so wrong?
Okay, that's the only part of this song that I think misses the mark, is the lack of rhyme scheme there, where the end of the line is bad and wrong. That's just personal preference. Phil Collins, he can do whatever the fuck he wants to. But have we noticed now, the first verse, we didn't have any oohs and ahs from the backup singers. Now we have some oohs and ahs.
Well, I don't know. I don't have all the answers. But I want you back. How many times can I say I'm sorry?
That becomes a theme, right? Every time you hear that part of the vocal delivery, da da do da 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 da, and that keyboard part lifts that vocal out on top of the whole mix. Man, so good.
You know you can run and you can hide, but I'm not leaving unless you come with me. We've had our problems, but I'm on your side. You're all I need.
Now notice here at the chorus, the staccato guitar part's gone, and now all of the instruments are basically, except for the horn parts and the vocals, are now playing a I can't sing, but hitting on the one and the and of two, and you have the staccato, or you have legato notes going on there. It gives a sense of release from that frenetic guitar part that comes in the verse. Except for Dave Grohl, Phil Collins has the best flams in the business.
I only wanted you, someone to love, but something happened on the way to heaven. You got a hold of me and wouldn't let go.
Okay, so that first verse was basically a 2 for nothing. That's what we used to call something that had a double verse in it. So the first verse was pretty naked. Second verse, we added some oohs and ahs on. So we're going to call that first verse just the first verse, even though it's a double verse technically. And then the second verse, we've got the oohs and ahs going on, and now we have some light stabs from the horn line. Of course, the horn line, I hope I mentioned that earlier. This is the horn line from Earth, Wind, and Fire. He had a long relationship with Earth, Wind, and Fire. He actually had a song that he sang with one of the singers. I can't remember all their names. So this second verse, now we've added a horn part that's very sparse still. Everything is just in its right place in this song, as Radiohead would say. Everything in its right place. These progressions of music like this, where you add a little something something as the song goes, I think this is what subliminally non-musicians appreciate and like about a song. They don't realize, because they don't analyze shit like musicians do, but they don't realize that these things that's slowly building this song up and doesn't bore you because the verse is the exact same way as the last verse. These are the things that are being lost in today's craftsmanship. I think too much onus is being put on your virtuosic ability on the instrument and less about what you're supposed to do with your instrument to make a song better. And that's something I've been trying to champion on this channel the whole time I've had it. Be a great drummer, be a great guitar player, but more than that, be a great song player, be a great song craftsman.
I want you back. How many times can I say I'm sorry?
So like you've heard that, that's the third time you've heard that thing. You start to anticipate it, right? And again, it's just a sweet tart. It just hits the spot.
Yes, I'm sorry. Well, you know you can run and you can hide, but I'm not leaving unless you come with me. We had our
I guess this song's like 5 minutes long. I said 3.5 at the beginning, didn't I?
problems, but I'm on your side. You're all I need. Please believe me. You can run and you can hide, but I'm not
Okay, I think the chorus is twice as long as the first time, right? Not trying to get away from giving the listener the same exact thing every time. Add in, be a craftsman, find new intricate, not intricate is a great best way to put it, like interesting little nuggets to add into the song. If you notice, he's also variated. I've said that on the channel a lot. I'm not sure if it's a real word. He's varied his vocal delivery, especially towards the end of this chorus. Not everything is exactly the same. Each segment of this song has something that is unique to it. I'm a woodworker in my real life as well, so I always equate music with woodworking. And when you're making a piece, you're trying to find, when you're getting to the part where you've made the structure, it's structurally sound, but now you want to start adding little pops of stylistic choices. You know, a curved handle instead of a brass handle, just stuff like that. You're always looking for what can I add to this that makes it more appealing, more appeasing to the to the masses, right? That's what this song does. It's what Phil Collins was a genius at. He was a fucking expert cabinet maker, is what he was.
Let me show you. They say you can.
We've got a bridge, fellas and ladies and everyone else. We've got a bridge. If you're a Beatles fan, you like bridges because Beatles built bridges better than just about anybody. And man, I could be being out of touch with what's popular right now, but I'm just not hearing a lot of bridges. A bridge, as I'm a songwriter, a bridge is a hard thing to do because you got to find something that is completely different from the verse and the chorus, but isn't so completely different that it sounds like a completely different song.
And take it with you when you go. I believe it. But taking what I
Notice here, all the harmonies are him. The ladies are gone. We don't have the female vocal part in here. And before, all the vocal harmonies were higher, which makes sense because females tend to sing higher than men for the most part, and those harmonies are higher. Now he's singing a lower harmony underneath his vocal part here. And again, it differentiates it from all the other times that you hear harmonies.
got all being here with you. You know I'd rather leave.
Okay, there's a high part right there. Okay, we're back to the intro again. And the intro is going to still be the intro, but it's going to have some more notes. Let's not listen to the exact same thing that we've already done. The piano is a lot more busier, and that's Phil Collins playing piano too. He plays drums, piano, keyboards, and sings on this damn thing, which is why Phil Collins is a genius. The keyboard part is a lot busier underneath these horn swells. Okay, so if you're a longtime viewer of this channel, you know we talk about the rule of three all the time. If you do a part a third time, you need to add something. Well, this song goes by the rule of one because they kind of add something every time. The next video in this series is going to be "I Won't Back Down" by Tom Petty, and he does the same thing in that song too. The guitar soloing. So we're on our third verse. We're going to call that first verse the double verse, verse 1. We got verse 2 where we added some oohs and ahs from the ladies. And now on this third verse, this verse that's going to get us out of the song, right? We have a verse. We're going to have probably a double chorus, and we're going to finale out of this song. And now listen, we have a guitar solo stuff. There's some call and response from the guitar that we've not heard in any other part of the song. Okay, so this penultimate verse has all of the elements that we've added up to this point. Phil Collins is so good. Being in the studio, I'm this guy. Like, what else can we add? Is there any other does this thing need an ooh or an ah? So the first verse, we pretty naked. Second verse, we start with the oohs and the ahs and a little bit of keyboards. On this third verse, we have all of that on top of now a call and response guitar soloing going on.
How many times can I say I'm sorry?
Didn't you anticipate that part? Da, 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 da. You anticipated it, right? It's because it's just this one little thing that comes out once per verse, right?
Yes, I'm sorry. You know you can run and you can hide, but I'm not leaving unless you come with me. We had our problems, but I'm on your side. You're all I need. Please believe me. You can run and you can hide, but I'm not leaving till it's all over.
So this is the album cut, the single edit. I'm pretty sure does a fade out right there. I hope that gave you a little more insight on the minutia of really great, in this instance, pop music. Pop music gets a bad rap from like musicians. Oh, it's just pop music. Fuck off, man. This is a pop song. And there was so much beautiful, I know I've said it a few times in this video, craftsmanship, artistic care. There was a lot of care. Everything served the song, and I say this to my students all the time when we do these lessons where I give them songs with no drums and I make them write their own drum parts to it. You should be, for the most part, the absolutes aren't always, you should be trying to build to the finale of the song, right? And you do that by just adding little bits and pieces here and there that you realize you miss because it wasn't in the first verse. You know, like when that guitar solo comes in on the third verse, or those call and answer guitar stabs happen in the third verse, it's almost like, wow, that could have happened in the first, but it didn't, because you needed to go somewhere. You needed a journey to happen. It's storytelling. It's storytelling. Start out with something here and you get here, and there's some shit that happens in the middle, right? And what you put in the middle is what makes people like it. There's no way, I guess, to prove this theory, but I think the small little stuff like that is the reason why civilians, or citizens as I call them, non-musicians, like something. Now, that's not to say that a Bad Religion song that has two guitar parts, a bass part, a drummer, and a singer isn't awesome as well. Of course it is. God, I love Bad Religion. But for this style of music, especially this time, this 1990, basically the 80s still, I guess technically still the 80s, there was so much more, in my opinion, more care given to these little 4, 5, 3-minute works of art. And this song, to me, is a work of art of subtlety and storytelling, and again, craftsmanship. If y'all liked all that, please give me a like, comment, and share. If you really want to help me out, man, I've got like 200 plus videos of drum React videos and a whole bunch of stuff in my library. The algorithm has completely forgotten about me. It's just not that into me anymore, so I could really use your all's help. I'm never going to stop doing videos. I don't care how low my views get, because I know this was a good one. So if y'all liked it, do all that. And keep practicing until it's easy.